All right, welcome everyone to the sixth annual Mid-Atlantic Opening Day Tournament bracket draw. I'm Paul Cook. We're real excited to get this next season started here in just a few days. Like always, just want to thank everyone for your participation. A lot of hard work goes into this, but it's very easy to do with all the great players and teams that we have coming down to these tournaments. Can't wait to see everyone again in just a few days and get the season started. So we've got a really good tournament coming up this Saturday. We're at 16 teams. A lot of MAW regulars, a couple new teams that we hope become regulars. A lot of teams have made a lot of moves during the offseason to really improve their teams. We got the Juggernauts returning, 2021 Mid-Atlantic Undisputed Champions and National Champions. So really, really competitive field, really good field to kick us off on Saturday. So not to get too ahead of ourselves, but just real quick here before we get into the draw itself, I just want to mention a couple of upcoming things. We're back in New York just 2 weeks after opening day on May the 7th. If you haven't registered for that yet, that's okay. But if you see us on Saturday and you are planning on coming, just let us know so we can plan ahead, get a good head count going for that. And then a couple weeks after that, we'll be in Maryland for our third tournament, Millersville, Maryland, sort of between Baltimore and Annapolis. That's the home of the Maryland Chesapeake Wiffle Ball League. It's a new league. They got a really cool facility right outside a bar and restaurant. It's a cool little place. Some good teams there, some good guys there. So hoping you guys can come down to that and help support this league and help support MAW in a new location. So before we get to the draw, just real quick, I want to run through the bracket. If you listen to Holy Commutes on Monday, we over what this bracket is going to be. It's just it's essentially the same as our 16-team format from last year. There's just one change that kind of has one downward impact. So it's the whole same idea. You see on the screen here. It's going to be two groups of 8, one at Shai Wiffle Ball Park, one at Dallastown Community Park, just like last year. So this is what each group will look like. Just, the first bracket's a normal single elimination bracket. You lose, you drop down into the losers bracket, which you see here. And then if you lose also that first game of the losers bracket, you drop down to that 2-loss game, where you also face an 0-2 team. So same thing like last year. You're going to play a team with the same record throughout the prelim rounds. The only difference this year is that game number 12 wasn't played last year. Those two teams that won game 10 and 11 would have just advanced on to the final 8. Instead, that game will be played this year, so only one of those teams will make it into the final 6. And the reason for that is twofold. One is those 2-0 versus 2-0 games didn't really matter all that much last year. As much as we love seeing Stan pitch against Connor when everyone's trying at 50%, it's a lot better to have those games mean something. So those 2-0 versus 2-0 games back up in the main bracket will mean something now because each team that wins their bracket that goes 3-0 will get a bye to the semifinals. That team that goes 2-1 that loses that final game, they'll go through to the final 6, won't have to play a 4th game. But the one other team that comes out of each bracket will play a 4th game and go 3-1. And then the final 6 looks like this. If I can click it. So you'll cross over to you'll play a team from the that was playing at the fields that you were not playing at in the first round. And again, the second reason for this, the really good benefit is this gives 2 more teams 4 more games total play. Under last year's format, only 8 teams got to play 4 more games. Now 10 do. So we got a lot of teams traveling far distances. So trying to get everyone as many games as humanly possible, and hopefully this format will do it. So we'll put all that up on all of our socials right after this. But again, very, very similar to last year, just that one little tweak. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's get to the draw. So the way this will work, as usual, is they'll just go straight down. So the first 2 teams will play each other for the first game in Group A. The next 2 will play each other the first game in Group A. The winners of those 2 games then will play each other. The losers of those 2 games will play each other. So you can kind of figure out, what your possible first 2 matchups are. All right, so let's go ahead and spin here. So the first team is the Risers. Risers adding Jimmy Cole this year. Got a really solid team. Definitely one of those teams that improved a lot. And they will be facing... I can't tell what that's on. We'll have to see when it's either the York Yaks or Voodoo. All right, it was Voodoo. So Risers Voodoo, game 1. Earl is team number 3. They will be playing first game. The Great Lakes Legion. So just to recap real quick here before we move on. This top half of this group, we have Risers versus Voodoo and Earl versus Great Lakes. So the winners of those 2 games will play each other, and the losers of those 2 games will play each other in their second games. So now the bottom half of this first group. Now we have the Yaks. And they will be playing Ridley number 3. That's not their official name, at least as far as I know, but this is thanks to those guys for filling in late. We had one team drop out, and Ridley Park, as usual, came to the rescue. So that'll be Mike Collins, Andrew Kelly, Vinny Albanese, and JVH playing on that third Ridley Park team. All right, Anarchy is team 7 in Group A. And they will be facing in their first game the Bunglers, who are a new team, both in MAW and overall, I believe, in competitive football. All right, so before we move on, the bottom half of this bracket, Yaks versus Ridley number 3, and Anarchy versus the Bunglers. And then going back up to the top, we've got Risers versus Voodoo and Earl Great Lakes. So that closes out that group. And now we'll start back up top with the second group. And we'll announce where each group is playing probably tomorrow morning. Just give us a little time to get everything together. We'll get all that out. All right, so the Juggernauts come off the board now. Let's see who they're going to play. I know it's impossible. I almost kind of feel like East Coast Elite's going to come up here anyway. It's the Maryland Horsemen. I mentioned earlier that Maryland Chesapeake League. The Horsemen are one of the 8 teams in that league, making their MAW debut. So I think you'll see a lot of them this season. Game number 2 is the Ridley Park Magic. Is team number 1 in the second game, and their opponent are the Dragons. Dragons another really improved team this off season. So to recap that top half of the bracket, we got Juggernauts, Horsemen, and Magic Dragons. Oh, Magic Dragons! I didn't even realize that. And so the winners of those 2 games will play each other, and the losers will play each other. Bottom half of the bracket starts off with the OG Goon Squad. They will face the Dinos. Yet another improved team this offseason. So that leaves us with Stompers Long Balls. Will spin just for prosperity. Stompers are team 7, which means the Long Balls are team 8. So the bottom half of this bracket is Goon Squad Dinos and Stompers Long Balls. 2 winners play each other, 2 losers play each other. Again, top half are the Juggernauts, Maryland Horsemen, and The Ridley Park Magic versus the Dragons. So there you go. That's the lineup for this Saturday. Just looking it over, looks relatively balanced, but yeah, a lot of good first round matchups, a lot of potential really good second round matchups. So it should be a real good competitive. It's going to be a competitive field. Should be a lot of good games. Again, one of the focuses was trying to bump up the number of games the people play. 'Cause we know a lot of teams are traveling a far distance, so 10 teams will get 4 games. The Buffalo over at Chi Wiffle Ball Park, that field will open up probably sometime mid-afternoon or so. So, if you're done after your third game, done after your fourth game, and you want to still get in some more play, feel free to come over. If you're already at Chi Park, to stay there. If you're at the Dallas Town, come over, and you're free to use the fields for whatever you wish. So just a couple more things here. So we will send out the captain's email. We'll aim for tomorrow, but it could be Thursday. If you don't know the address, we'll give the addresses to both fields in there. Again, the satellite fields they're 5 to 10 minutes away. It's usually like 6 or 7 minutes, not very far at all. We encourage anyone that's out at the satellite fields to come over after they're done, even if they were eliminated. Watch some wiffle ball. This is supposed to be one of those weather days where it's supposed to, I think, reach a high temperature around early evening, 5-6 o'clock. So that late afternoon should be really good weather. To come and watch some wiffle ball if you're done for the day. We'll also have new T-shirts on sale. Probably, I don't think we've decided yet, but probably just at Chi Park. So again, come over. We'll have plenty of available if you want one of those. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. But the captain's email will come out will come out either tomorrow or Thursday, and that should answer any remaining questions anyone has. But yeah, in the meantime, just let us know if there's anything you need. And that's all for us here. Again, we're really looking forward to seeing everyone on Saturday. Should be a great kickoff to a great season.